Hey, what's up, guys? It's Renaldo here. So, first and foremost, please be sure to subscribe to the Truth Report YouTube channel. You can do so by clicking the subscribe button below. Now, with that being said, this past weekend there was fireworks. Now, what happened? Well, the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner of the South African Police Service, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, made some explosive allegations of widespread corruption and political interference within the nation's criminal justice system. Now, these claims, made by a senior ranking officer and former acting National Police Commissioner, have been deemed a grave national security concern by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, what are some of these key allegations made by General Mkhwanazi? Well, I'm going to read it to you because it's quite detailed. The first one is disbandment of a task team. Now, he accused Police Minister Senzo Mchunu of unilaterally disbanding the police killings task team, a unit that had investigated over 600 political related dockets and made 436 arrests. Mkhwanazi alleged this was orchestrated to shield politically connected members of a criminal syndicate from prosecution. That's quite damning, but not surprising. Why would you want to disband a successful task team that is doing its job? Well, scorpions, anyone? Yeah. The second one is docket neutralization. Now, following the disbandment of 124 active investigation dockets were allegedly redirected to the Office of National Deputy Commissioner, Lieutenant General Shadrach Sibiya, now where they have been neutralized. This action, Mkhwanazi stated, has had a chilling effect, compromising investigations into organized crime in Gauteng and eroding public confidence. Yeah, it has definitely done so. The third point is criminal syndicate infiltration. Mkhwanazi claimed the task team had unmasked a syndicate involving politicians who are currently serving in parliament, as well as members of the SAPS, Metro Police, Correctional Services, prosecutors in Gauteng, and the judiciary. That is quite intense. Now, he also asserted this network is controlled by the drug cartel and business people in Gauteng. Wow. I hope that he's getting security. I hope that the government is going to provide him with some form of safety during all of this because, based on what we've seen in the past, he could potentially be a dead man walking with all of this information. The last point is ministerial involvement. Mkhwanazi accused Minister Mchunu of being in constant communication with people involved in criminal activities. He also highlighted that firearms linked to high-profile killings, including artists in Gauteng, were in police possession, but no action has been taken. Evidence cited included WhatsApp messages suggesting prior knowledge of the task team's disbandment and discussions of solutions to investigations. That's right. Now, here's some verbatim quotes from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. Now, during the briefing, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi stated the following. I can confirm before South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate, and this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The effect had been chilling, with the Gauteng investigations into organized crime compromised and confidence in the state's willingness to prosecute politically connected suspects further eroded. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country. And then also he urged SAPS members to stand up and protect our people against this criminal syndicate. That's right. Now, what has the reactions been? Because you can imagine that if you are accusing politicians, the judiciary, business people, that the fallout is going to be crazy and that everybody is going to try and attempt to discredit him immediately. Well, the following has been said. So, Cyril Ramaphosa described the matter as a grave national security concern and stated it is receiving the highest priority attention, emphasizing the need to safeguard the integrity of security services and affirm the rule of law. But yet he is still at the BRICS conference and he didn't decide to come back to South Africa immediately to deal with this. Once again, that is Cyril Ramaphosa. in all of his glory. Now, the Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Police chairperson Ian Cameron called for urgent attention from the president, acknowledging the great personal risk Mkhwanazi undertook and expressing concerns about rot within the SAPS and strained relationships among senior officials. Now, as you can imagine, political parties came out across the spectrum, including the DA Action SA, Good, IFP and the EFF, and they've demanded urgent parliamentary debates and independent investigations. Also, there's some concerns for Mkhwanazi's safety. There's explicit apprehension that Mkhwanazi and his family are in real and imminent danger, and I truly hope that something is being done to look after him during this time, especially with all the information that he has. Now, the police minister has responded to these allegations. So Senzo Mchunu responded as follows. He initially stated he would apply his mind to the allegations, and then he later firmly denied allegations of interference, asserting that the political killings task team did not add value to policing in the province. Not sure how that is true, because they've made arrests, which is a lot more than is what happened during state capture, as an example. He also called for an urgent and thorough and transparent investigation into Mkhwanazi's public statements, and I do hope that this takes place. All right, so what are the implications of all of this? Well, if these allegations are substantiated, then it points to a profound level of state capture. Now, we thought that under Jacob Zuma's state capture was bad. Well, over here, it looks like Cyril Ramaphosa is continuing the trend, especially considering that he didn't immediately fly back from his BRICS conference. No, he's deciding to stay there and let everybody in South Africa for the next few days just sit around and wonder, is this true? Is it not true? Poor leadership as always. And, this also fundamentally undermines the public trust in law enforcement. I mean, here is a provincial police commissioner making bold statements against the minister of police and businesses and the judiciary. And once again, Cyril Ramaphosa is just saying, hey, we'll deal with it when I get back. Now, this crisis that is clearly being ignored by the president and saying he'll deal with it when he comes back is not the way that you should deal with this. It should necessitate an independent, transparent, and swift investigation so that we can know who's telling the truth. Is the Minister of Police involved? Is businesses involved? Is the judiciary involved? We need to find out what is happening. And at the moment, in clear ANC/GNU fashion, it's just being put on ice and saying, oh, we'll deal with it when we'll deal with it. Just like the state capture report and the Zondo Commission's report. How many people have been arrested? How many prosecutions have there been for this billion rand that has been spent on it? So we need to get to the truth before people are taken out, before people are silenced. We need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible, because you have to ask yourself, what actual benefit is there for Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to make these statements? I mean, this is a direct attempt to get to the bottom of something, and he's putting his life at risk. He's putting his family's life at risk. And what is the upside for him? So that is why I think that there is some weight to these allegations that has been made. But time will tell, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later, because South Africa needs to know the truth. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Please be sure to smash that like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And lastly, please be sure to share this video far and wide with people that you know on WhatsApp and on other social media platforms. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later, cheers and peace out.